WJTS News, I'm Charlotte Olson. The Southwest DuBois County School Corporation will have a new leader when the school year begins in August, and he's no stranger to our area. During their regular monthly meeting last night, the Southwest DuBois School Board selected 48-year-old Tim LaGrange as the district's new superintendent. As mentioned, LaGrange is a familiar face to the DuBois County educational system, as well as the athletic landscape. He is a 1987 graduate of Perry Central High School, and after attending Indiana University, he began his career in education, as well as athletics right across the river in Hancock County, Kentucky. He taught and coached basketball for 2 years before he returned to Indiana and headed the Northwest to Jasper High School in the 1994-1995 school year. In 13 years at JHS, LaGrange taught social studies and coached in the boys basketball program, including 10 years as head coach of the Wildcats, where his teams had a combined record of 125-103. He also won a pair of sectionals in 2001 and 2002 and a regional title in 2002 as well. He moved to Jeffersonville High School in 2007-2008, where he taught and coached the Red Devils for 4 seasons, winning the sectional and regional championships in 2010. He then went into administration, remaining with the Greater Clark School District, serving 2 years as the assistant principal at Charlestown Middle School before returning to Jeff High as assistant principal for the last 4 years. LaGrange says that he looks forward to leading the Southwest District, and he says it's one of the finest in the area, and he looks forward to continuing the tradition.
Well, it's obviously an outstanding school corporation, so I think first of all it's maintaining a lot of excellence that already exists.
Tim is married to the former Angie Ransom, a Huntingburg native, and also a graduate of Southridge High School. They have 3 children, and the youngest of which, Joe, will be a junior at Southridge next year. He says that he and his family are thrilled to be back within DuBois County.
Oh, well, it's a great area, and you know, people, you know it's special when you are here or when you live here. That gets driven home even more so when you leave, and an opportunity to come back is a blessing.
LaGrange was one of the 15 candidates vying for the position, and the Southwest School Board last night agreed on a 3-year contract for LaGrange that will take effect on July the 1st. LaGrange will replace Mike Inman, who announced his plans to retire as superintendent back in February. He has been in the Southwest Corporation for the past 15 years, serving as Southridge High School's principal for 11 years before he was selected to replace Terry Inlow as superintendent when he retired in 2013. Police are seeking the public's help in 2 separate incidents that occurred in the county over the past few days. Authorities are seeking the public's help as they look into the apparent theft of a decoration from a residence just outside of Huntingburg that occurred over the weekend. On Saturday around 7:30 p.m., the DuBois County Sheriff's Department says an unknown person stole a decorative windmill from the landscaping of a residence in the 7800 block of West State Road 64, about 3.5 miles west of the Huntingburg city limits. A deputy described the missing windmill at about 5 feet tall and red in color. They say that the suspect is thought to be a heavyset male around 60 years old, driving a green truck with a camper shell. He was last seen leaving the residence and going westbound on State Road 64. In a separate incident that happened yesterday afternoon, DuBois County Sheriff deputies responded to a report of a vehicle leaving the scene of a property damage accident. The accident occurred at the intersection of State Road 162 and 3rd Avenue and Schnellville Road. An unknown male driver rear-ended another pickup at the intersection and then left the scene. A suspect vehicle that is described as a full-size truck, regular cab, and possibly a Ford or a Dodge with a long bed that is blue or possibly green in color. It will have significant damage to the front end, and the suspect vehicle had either a golf cart or a side-by-side vehicle in the back. Anyone with information on the suspect vehicle or driver is asked to contact the Sheriff's Department, and all calls can remain confidential. Anyone with information about these incidents is asked to contact the DuBois County Sheriff's Department at 812-482-3522. Sean Schmidt, warehouse manager at Jasper-based Hettinger Beverage Distributing, has been recognized in the National Beer Wholesalers Association Employee Spotlight Program. Schmidt has worked at Hettinger Beverage for 24 years after beginning his career there as a driver salesman. America's more than 3,000 independent beer distributing facilities employ 135,000 men and women in communities across the country. The NBWA Employee Spotlight Program highlights standout beer distribution employees and showcases their achievements. In a release, company president Keith Hedinger called Schmidt the kind of employee who will do anything for anybody, and nothing he'll unload trucks on the weekend without being asked to do so. And he also takes great pride in his work. Hedinger called Schmidt an invaluable member of their team. According to the 2016 Fall Conservation Transcript Report, Hoosier farmers planted over 1 million acres of cover crops for the second year in a row. Jane Hardesty, state conservationist with USDA's Natural Resource Conservation Service, says that having over 1 million acres of planted cover crops makes Indiana the leading state in the Midwest, if not the nation. Excited about these numbers, Hardesty says that for the data to show that for each acre USDA plants, a farmer to plant cover crops through a Farm Bill program, another 4 to 5 acres are being planted without a cost share. The transcript is a collaborative effort between NRCS, the Indiana State Department of Agriculture, Indiana's 92 soil and water conservation districts, Earth Team volunteers, and other members of the Indiana Conservation Partnership who team up to conduct a visual assessment of cropland county by county using a predetermined route. They collect data on tillage methods, plant cover, residue, and etc. To help document a more complete story of conservation efforts in Indiana, the survey uses GPS technology and provides a statistically reliable method, and then uses USDA National Agricultural Statistics Services data on these crops for estimating farm management and related annual trends. This year's data may be surprising considering the tough farm economy, but not to Rodney Rowland, whose farms with his family near Acadia, Indiana. Rowland and his family have been continuously no-tilling and using cover crops for a number of years. The ICP believes that the no-till and the cover crop acres represented in the transcript data are at a much higher and sustainable quality because many farmers are using multiple conservation practices as a part of a total soil health management system. A systems approach means using practices like adaptive nutrition management, integrated weed and pest management, crop rotation, precision technology, and prescriptive buffers that work together with cover crops and no-till to improve soil function. And make sure you keep it right here, because up next we'll take a look at your weather summary.